Hey guys, this is Chris with no H. Today we're going to take a look at the TTArtisan 28mm f5.6 that I have in my hands right here. Even though this seemed like an honest mistake, it wasn't. I made it on purpose. And the reason why is because this looks very, very similar to the Sumaron from Leica. They sent this to me. I wasn't paid to do the review, but I was very curious to see how this performs. I've seen many friends of mine having one and using it very often, and I got curious to know how good it performs. Very first thing you might ask is, how is the image quality? To me, the image quality is very good. There is nothing too sharp and nothing too bad. It is sitting a little bit in between, in the middle. I had no issues whatsoever. I find the photos to be very organic, to look good without being too sharp. And that is what I'm looking for when I'm shooting with such a small lens. I'm not looking for an apochromatic lens or something absolutely perfect on all corners. I'm looking for something that has character, something that's imperfect, but that will give me great results that feel organic. And that is what this lens gives you. I think a lens like this is ideal for street photography, but also for everyday life. If you want to just have a little lens that doesn't protrude too much. I mean, when you look at this camera, for example, here, you can see that it is just sticking out a tad, which is just enough to have something to take photos with. And that is what I'm interested in. In fact, the next point I want to bring up here is the fact that it has an infinity lock. So when you put it at infinity, it is not going to move, it's going to stay there. And really all you do with such a lens is set your aperture, set your focusing to say infinity, go out and shoot. Also, when you're shooting with an M with no display at the back and you have to wait to get home, or if you're shooting on analog, then it makes sense to make sure that it is set to infinity and that it's not going to move. By the way, maximum aperture is f5.6, minimum aperture is f22. I've mounted this also on my Leica SL2S, and it is great just because it is such a contrast between, you know, a bigger body, professional body for professional work, and such a tiny manual lens that you put in front. So it really reduces the footprint, the overall size of the combo, and it makes it very enjoyable to take, you know, the SL2 or SL2S with you for just normal shoots or just for pleasure, and not worry about it being too heavy. I normally shoot with a 24-70mm, which is a tiny bit bigger, as you can imagine, and so having this small little lens in front is really cool. I did not find the information regarding the minimum focusing distance anywhere, but I did some tests and tried that out, and I reckon that the minimum focusing distance is about 95 centimeters, so you're close to a meter. That's how close you can get to your subject before you're out of focus and you can't focus on anymore. That's a pretty long minimum focusing distance, I have to say, but I'm not going to complain too much because it is a small lens. It has a lot of pros, a few cons. This is one of them. So if you're going to take photos of your friends or anything, any subject, just make sure you're at least a meter away from it to make sure that it is actually in focus. The lens hood is a little square metal hood. It feels very, very resistant and well built. Like the lens itself, they both are a great combo. One thing they give you is also a little screwdriver. It is actually very, very cute. It's included in the box. But jokes aside, the purpose of that screwdriver is because there are little screws on both sides here. So you can really, you know, screw your hood to the lens and make sure it's not going to go anywhere and that it is properly attached to the lens. So yeah, I think they made a really good product. I will tell you a bit more about the packaging in a little moment, but I think they did a good job all the way down to the packaging itself. The material of the lens itself is made of brass, or so they say, which is great because the M bodies from Leica are also made of brass for the most part. So again, great combo. It weighs around 150 grams, so needless to say, this is very, very lightweight. It is not light, but it is lightweight for its size. The reason it's not lighter is because of the construction and how it's built. The price is around $400, which is really good for such a lens. Let's talk about the packaging now, shall we? It comes in this black box that says TTArtisan 28mm f5.6 with the logo on the side. And inside what you see is, well, first of all, there's this metal plaque which has the model name and the aperture on it that I find very, very cool. It's a little detail, nothing major, but you know, it's aesthetically pleasing, makes it more premium. And there's this fabric that holds the lens. It looks very premium as well. It doesn't scratch any part of your lens, and it makes you want to keep the box. That really looks good. And I was actually genuinely surprised because I didn't watch any reviews of this lens before, and I find it to be exceptionally good for the price and for TTArtisan. I think they really made a good product here. I hope that answers any points you had about this lens. If you're looking into buying it, I would suggest you do. If that's the type of lens that you like, I would definitely go for it and purchase it because it gave me great results and I have nothing bad to say about it. There. See you in my next video. Keep taking great 20 mil shots and subscribe if you didn't do it yet. Cheers.